Hey everybody, this is Jason Roggasch. This is a video today I'm going to make, and I'm going to be very succinct, and I'm going to be very off the cuff, and I'm going to be very pissy. I'm fucking sick of fucking guns. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired. I don't mean guns like in the sense of the murders and the killings and the shootings and the dead and the blood and the guts and the beer. I don't give a fuck about all those things because they haven't happened to anybody that I know, and frankly, they're just an intellectual exercise like the rest of us who do this kind of research. At this point, if it's more than an intellectual exercise for you at this point, and you're really emotionally involved in these shootings, and you need to step the fuck back or you're mentally ill, unless they happen to your family member, etc. I'm tired of right-wing conspiracy theorists going for the gun control thing first because they believe that guns are going to lead to revolution. And the only reason Jim Fetzer said to me that there's 100,000 armed men and women in the United States right now that are keeping fascism from coming into this country, that are keeping the overtake of he didn't say Zionism, he didn't say international Jewry, he didn't say any of that stuff, but that's what he meant. That's horseshit. That's stupid. There are 7 billion people on the planet. 100,000 people with guns in America are not stopping anything. That's not a provable statistic. That doesn't. That he pulled that out of his ass, out of thin air. That is a right-wing fear tactic. The right wing in this country scares the bejesus out of you and uses wedge issues to get you to buy gold and silver because gold only sells with gloom and doom. You look after 9/11, it's true. Gold went from, what, $600 an ounce to $1,800. It's back down to 11 or a little under 11. Fear, gloom and doom, that's what sells gold and silver. So in part, that's why guns are such an important, integral part of convincing you that they are coming to get your guns. Nobody wants your dumb fucking guns. And BTW, your guns aren't going to stop anything. Your guns, guns have only been around mass-produced, what, since the 1900s? Late 1800s with the revolvers and things like that and handguns and Remington and all that stuff. So, to act like handguns have been around for, or even rifles or shotguns or anything like that have been around for thousands of years, they haven't been. The revolutions happened, people fought kings and queens, people fought fascism, people fought tyranny, people without guns. For hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. There's always been oppressors, and there's always going to be the oppressed, and the oppressed must fight the oppressor. That is the way it works. It's David and Goliath. It's older than the Bible. So, when you act as though guns are your handgun is going to save you from an F-22 Raptor flying over your neighborhood or a drone strike, and that's not what they want. They don't want your guns. They don't want criminals to have guns. When I say they, I mean this stupid ass federal government that has been created that has way too much power over each individual state. That's what I'm talking about. And this overuse of power, this overstretch of power, it has become this conspiratorial controlling of the world thing. The New World Order is very real. Read Tragedy and Hope by Carroll Quigley, and he lays it out brilliantly. Professor Clinton thanked him in his inaugural speech. Good book, very quick read. It's enormous. It's an enormous book, but it's a good read. And it explains what the New World Order is. It explains corporations. It explains the families that have run it. It explains he mentions the Illuminati in there. He mentions them. He mentions all of that stuff. It's very real. Powerful people get together and talk. Freemasons get together. People of power want more power. That's it. They want to control people. They want to make more money. So all of this has come now down to, because it goes into the hoax meme of everything is a hoax to take your guns. So they can bring in and this is what the hardcore right wing believes, to bring international Zionism in. So Zionists, because they do it, they do it in Hollywood, and they do it in the entertainment business, and they do it in corporations, and they must be doing, it's so ridiculous and so over the top and so wrought with holes and ridiculous theory that it's hard to I can't even consider myself somebody who believes in any of these things were hoaxes anymore. Because I can't prove that any of them are hoaxes. I can't prove any of this shit. I can't show anybody. I'm being patient with the Sandy Hook FOIA request and the Wolfgang Halbig thing because I want to see the state request and the federal request. But right now, excuse me, I can't get behind any of this shit being a hoax. Because I can't show, I can analyze, I've said the LAX shooting, the guy CIA, that looked ridiculous. But what was the goal of that? They already treat you like it's the Gestapo at the fucking airport anyway. Was that a live drill that nobody told the media was a drill? You know? And then they manipulated I don't know. That one's worth investigating and looking into. But that guy looked like a dummy on there. What if it was a real human? And they just were trying to get him out quick. I don't know anymore. See, and that's what I'm saying. My good friend JFK371 made a great video about this. He said, look, you guys we don't know. You keep saying these kids didn't. Tony Mead using Noah Posner's face for his YouTube avatar. What are you doing? You don't even, I mean, that's really fucking weird. That you're so certain that nobody died at Sandy Hook. The whole hoax community is out of their fucking minds. Professor Doom, I had somebody again tell me how great Professor Doom is and that I need to check him out. I don't have an open mind. Your mind is too open. You have too much open mind. You're too stupid to even have a conversation with if you really believe that a guy like Professor Doom is telling you anything that's true. He has an agenda. He interviews Wolfgang Halbig. He's not looking for answers. He's looking to prove it was a hoax. Whether or not you think he's a con artist or not, people kind of, I think, misunderstand what I mean sometimes when I say con man. He believes it's a hoax, therefore his confirmation bias is set in fucking concrete. I'll talk to people that I like online who are so sure all of these are hoaxes, but they can't prove it other than video from a source that they don't trust. Do you know how ridiculous that is? I mean, and I'm the one who's the bad guy in the hoax community. Joel from Reich Watch, Aryan Empire, sent me a message tonight about these guys, Professor Doom, or these other guys are talking about Debbie Wasserman Schultz being her family being involved, and because they're Jews. I mean, are you this bereft of intelligence that you just, if it's a Jewish name, they're involved? You're a petty little anti-Semite fuck. And don't feed me what the definition of Semite is. I know what the definition is. You assholes who are who advocate that the Holocaust was a hoax and don't do any research and watch documentaries until you're retarded. Don't presume that you fucking know more about the fucking Holocaust than fucking me. You fucking idiot. If you did know shit about the Holocaust, if you actually did know the history of it, if you actually had read some of the Polish literature on it, or if you had read, because I have family members who are, I'm not going to get into personal stuff, but forget all that. You could go to South American countries who have written books about the Holocaust, completely independent of any Zionist control, Zionism, Zionists, Zionism. And it goes into the gun control issue. It's the same morons who let this wedge issue of guns control their thinking. Guns are not going to save you from anything other than a bear attack or someone breaking into your home. That's what they'll save you from. And probably not even a bear attack, to be honest with you. You better have a lot of bullets and you better hit them dead in the fucking head. Because they will not stop coming. And I use bear as an example because I live in Anchorage, Alaska. So I don't want guns to be illegal. They need to be legal. When I go hiking, I either take a 357 or a 45 with me. Most likely the 357 because it can actually stop a fucking bear. I ride my bike in areas. I ride my bike downtown Anchorage, and we have bear garbage cans. We have garbage cans that we put food in that we lock so the bears don't come and crack it open. There is a bear for every seven people in Alaska. There is one bear. I don't like those odds. I like having a firearm. The native Alaskans who have been dealing with the bears for thousands and thousands of years before the white man ever saw one or ever dealt with one in the north, they don't fuck around with the bears. They carry firearms. My point is, firearms are needed. I've said this before. Every single woman who wants a firearm should get one for free. A woman should be able to go down. She can pass the base. They take her into the back. They show her how to shoot it. They show her how to load it. She takes some tests, and she should have a gun because men can physically kill a woman without any weapons. They can do it with their bare hands. So when there's that kind of unfair advantage, the great equalizer is a gun. So I'm not for people who are weak who have to take Bernie Goetz. Look up the Bernie Goetz case. I think what Bernie Goetz did was reasonable. So when people think that it's not okay to scare people and think there's going to be no repercussions. That's the Bernie Goetz thing. I'll do a video about Bernie Goetz sometime. My younger viewers may not know who the fuck Bernie Goetz is, but you should look up Bernie Goetz and look up what he did. And if you're a gun rights advocate, everyone should know who Bernie Goetz is. He's a little crazy, but he was tired of being intimidated on a subway, and he shot 4 black kids who were trying to mug him, and he'd had enough. And in those situations, if the police can't protect you, what are you supposed to do? Live in fucking abject fear? No. You knuckle the fuck up. You get a gun. You can't fight 4 black kids on a subway. They'll murder you with their bare hands. So, 4 white kids, 4 Latino kids, 4 males. I used to hang out with my friends. We used to terrorize people. Little assholes walking through the mall acting like we owned the place. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure we all did it. My point is, this gun crazy shit, they're coming for your guns. They're guns. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You can't show when these hoax started. You can't show that they are hoax. You're analyzing video that's from a source you don't trust. And it's all based on gun control. It's all based on, and there are other people who believe that it's psychological tests or evaluations. But I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Hoax advocates don't provide any evidence. They just provide innuendo and they just throw it out there, and then they have a mutual admiration society that continues to applaud these things. And I was mentioning Joel earlier. Joel sent me a video about Professor Doom and the Wasserman thing. It has 102 plus thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. I mean, that to me is really sad, because it's sad not in the sense that they're oppressing Jews. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to get all moral on you. If you can't see that, then you're fucking, you don't want to see it. What's sad is they're taking research and they're completely driving it into the ground. And they're getting people to pay attention to them because what they're doing is so ridiculously over the top. You don't get attention by saying people are, you don't get attention by being rational and reasonable. You get attention by being sensational and over the top, and that's what they're doing. And anybody who believes Professor Doom, Professor Dumb Shit, Professor doesn't have the ability to fucking debate me. He ran from me. He ran like a coward to debate me. Just like Tyranny News Network ran like a little pussy to debate me. Just like all of these fucking people run. The only person that didn't run was Jim Fetzer, and he interviewed me and pretended like he was having audio problems so he didn't have to play my interview. So, basically, if you think that gun control is the number one issue in your life, not healthcare, not equality, not socioeconomic, not the military-industrial complex destroying the environment, not your children's very fucking future, and you think guns are going to solve that, you're an idiot. And you don't have the brains to even... Frankly, I'm going to say something really arrogant. You don't have the fucking brains to even understand what I'm trying to do, if that's what you really believe about guns. You don't have the mental capacity to comprehend what I have been doing on my stupid little useless, pathetic, worthless sack of shit channel. If you are so bereft, and I love that word, bereft, of common sense, that you think gun control is the biggest issue facing you, or that's what's stopping fascism. You know what? Fascism is corporate and state merger, and it's happening every single day, and it's becoming legal. And they're not doing it with guns. They're doing it with mind control. And the hoax advocates, you have let yourself be marginalized and controlled. Right-wingers, hardcore right-wingers, you guys can make a difference, and you have let yourselves be marginalized and controlled by gun issues, by gun control fear. They have played onto your fear. All of these big, tough, white, right-wing Christian Republicans who love all this hoax shit, only reason they love it, the only reason you dumb hillbilly fucks like it, is because you guys can get your gun on. You guys can pretend you're the oppressed minority, like David Duke, and you can get your gun on. You can get your gun on. You don't go to rallies for anything else. You don't politically organize for anything else. But you'll go to a gun rally, won't you? You're a fucking idiot. And you should fucking be... You know what? You should take that gun and build a mouthpiece and then figure out how to use it. No, you know what you should do? Fuck it, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Put a mouthpiece on your gun. Any gun you own. Go find a gun. If you don't own a gun, go borrow one from one of your friends that's not a convict, and which I know that's going to be hard to find. That's not a felon. Put it in your mouth and pull the trigger until you can't stop pulling it. Make sure the gun's loaded first, and just keep pulling the trigger, and see what happens. Because I'm tired of gun advocates. You're all a bunch of fucking troglodyte morons. You're not making the world a better place. You're not making the conspiracy community a better place. You're not helping anything. You're not changing anything. You're not making it better. All you're doing is using your stupid fear-based paranoia, and you're allowing it to wash over the rest of us because you continue to support people like Jim Fetzer, Professor Doom, Tyranny News Network, Sophia Smallstorm, etc., etc. Have a great fucking day, or don't. I could care less.